What is good, my people? This is your boy FJ3000, man, back with a brand new video from Laid Back Thursday. That's exactly what it is, man. It's a Laid Back Thursday. This is a video where we sit down, we chop it up, and we talk about the top news, talk about what's going on big in the sports world. It's basically a recap of what we have seen on this week. Now, if anybody's like me, March is that time of the year. We know we have the Super Bowl. We know we got the NBA Finals. But March Madness, the NCAA tournament, to me, in my book, is right up there with the Super Bowl. It's right up there with the NBA Finals because, for one, you see all of these low-ranked schools. You see all of these schools that we never heard of come in and knock off some of the blue bloods, some of the top schools in the country. They get the five-star athletes. They get these athletes that's one and done. They get these athletes that's headed on to the NBA and possibly have these great careers. And they playing players that you'll never hear about outside of college basketball. They probably won't make it to the NBA. You won't see them on Sports Center, with big highlights. And that's what's so big to me about the NCAA tournament. This first day is gonna be excitement. I'm telling you now, this first day of the tournament will be full of excitement. You got Drake. Keep an eye out for those guys. You got Oral Roberts. That's going to be facing my Duke Blue Devils. Max Abrams, I think that's his name. The guy gave fits 2 years ago. If you remember Oral Roberts from 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, they played good ball in that tournament. So they got a veteran ball club. They got some savvy players that's been there for 4 years. And they going to give my Duke Blue Devils all they want. And I'm not going to pencil my boys in. I expect for my boys to win. But we've seen how Duke can do in the past with schools that can shoot the three ball real good, with schools that even defend real good. So keep an eye out for Oral Roberts. Keep your eyes open for Drake as well. I've heard a lot about those two teams, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot of more teams in this tournament that's going to give some teams some fits. We're going to move right along to the NBA. The Los Angeles Lakers. Watched the game on last night against Houston. No AD, no LeBron. AD has, it's been reported that AD won't be playing any back-to-backs. The team doctors and the coaches have said he will sit for back-to-backs. Now, I'm going to say this, people. I'm going to say this. This ain't the time for that. You got 12 games left in the season. You're in the 10th seed, barely. That's a play-in game. I understand you holding AD out for injuries because you want to be safety. I understand that. But it's 12 games left. AD needs to be on the floor. Now, whether you kind of stagger his minutes during the game in a back-to-back, cool. But AD has to be on the floor. If you noticed last night, the Lakers gave no effort in that first half. No effort. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say Houston, midway through the third quarter, had 70-some point paints. 70 points in the paint. That's no rim protection, and that's actually no guarding. You can't wait to the third quarter to say, okay, I want to turn it on now. The Lakers cut it to, I think, 3. They were down by 20, and I think they cut it to 3. And just the effort and the energy that you do to try to get back in the game, it wasn't enough. AD has to be on the court. Hopefully the Lakers can get LeBron back. with probably, I say, around 8 games left in the season, and hopefully they can make a push with those last 8 games. We'll see. It's gonna be a battle because, like I said earlier in the week, the Lakers play up and down as far as energy wise. And if your energy is down, if your effort is down, you're gonna get bad results. Moving right along into Steph Curry. We all know Steph dropped a 50 ball last night on the road at the Clippers. A 50 piece. We don't even look like we don't even look at as a big number anymore. This day and time, if you ain't dropping 70 plus, ain't nobody really talking about you. But like I said earlier, on the road, Golden State has lost 9 straight games on the road. I think they're a whopping 7-27 on the road this season. I think that incident with Jordan Poole and Draymond has really affected this team. We know Steph has been out with some injuries. We know Wiggins has been out with, I think, family issues. But I think this team may be reaping the benefits of what went on this past summer. They got a uphill battle as well. I mean, they got to find a way to close this season out on a good note, or they can be in a play-in, or not even in the playoffs or the play-in at all. That don't look good for a team that's trying to repeat. So I think that's big for Golden State. We're gonna move further along to the another part of this NFL offseason that I love. We're gonna move right into the NFL. We have the NFL free agencies. If you guys do not know, we got some trades went down. We got some free agent signings that went down that I think are pretty good, and we got some cuts that went down. Stephon Gilmore was traded to the Cowboys for a 5th-round pick. Like, Jerry Jones literally put a ski mask on and went to the Colts and stole Gilmore for a 5th-round pick. That's big on the Cowboys, man. You got Diggs on one side and you got Gilmore on the other side. That's big, and you got Michael Parsons doing everything else. So that's going to be huge for the Cowboys on the defensive side. Hargraves, that was with Philadelphia, one of the big guys on the line for Philly this past season, signed with the 49ers. That's another big move. Who else? What else? Who else had a Darren Waller, who I think is a top guy at the tight end position in this league, was traded to the Giants. That's big for the Giants. And Jalen Ramsey traded to the Dolphins. That's a pretty good move for the Dolphins. It beefs up their defense. Even though Jalen Ramsey is not the guy that he once was, we all know that you can get a good 3 years out of a corner, and they kind of start going downhill after that. So Jalen Ramsey headed to the Dolphins, and this one, it didn't surprise me, but I am kind of surprised. Zeke Elliott, man, cut by the Cowboys. He was a big piece to the Cowboys. I know he was kind of down the last 2 years. We know running backs, they started to kind of go downhill, and we seen that from Zeke with the knee injuries and whatever other nagging injuries he may be dealing with. But I still think he's a very good third down back. I think it's somebody you can get a ball to on 3rd and short, 4th and short. So somebody will pick Zeke up. Wish him the best. And last but not least, if you watched the Pat McAfee show on yesterday, Aaron Rodgers is basically waiting for the Packers and the Jets to come to terms on what they want to do as far as draft compensation or players that the Green Bay want to get back in return, because we heard Aaron Rodgers says his plans is to play for the Jets. Now, I can say I don't know a whole lot about the Jets because I don't watch them that much. I know they had a pretty decent season on last year. I know they got some pretty good pieces. The defense is pretty good. So that could be a nice move for the Jets in the AFC. That's going to be big. That's a lot of big time quarterbacks in the AFC once that does happen. So that's what's going on the NFL front. We know it's a lot of more free agents signings going on, probably a lot of more trades going on leading up to the draft. Who is your team? Who you rocking with in the NFL this year? That's my question. If you know me, you know I'm a big time Steelers fan. That's who I'm rocking with. We did pick up Patrick Peterson, a guy, big time Pro Bowler, possibly going to be in the Hall of Fame. We know he's lost a step, but we can use some veteran presence in the cornerback room. But moving right along to my last, I wanted to save this for last. Mr. Ja Morant. We know he received the 8-game suspension from the NBA on yesterday, and that time will be up on Monday. He will be eligible to return to the court on Monday. I want to say this about Ja. We know he's young. We know young people make mistakes, as well as older people. I do want us to stop pulling that young card. And I know people do things when they're younger versus when they're older, a little bit wiser, have a lot more understanding of things, have more guidance, leadership, or whatnot. But I want us to stop using that young card every time something happens. Nothing against Ja. I love him as a basketball player. Awesome basketball player. The guy has potential to be the face of the NBA. I hope he comes back from this ready to move forward. I hope he comes back with a fresh mind, a new mind, ready to lead his team, lead his family in the right direction, because at the end of the day, people sit back and wait on us to fail. They sit back and say, okay, I'm just going to wait. Because I see how you carry yourself. I see how you react to certain things. I want Ja to come back, have fun with the game. Just be on that straight and narrow. Be on the up and up. And I hope and pray that we look back on this 2 years from now and say Ja has really turned himself around. Ja has really done the right thing. Ja has really carried himself as a model citizen, and the city of Memphis and the NBA is throwing so much love his way. That's what I hope and pray for Ja. I think everything will be fine. Like I said, we do make mistakes when we're younger, and that's just what it is. I'm glad nothing bad didn't happen. I'm glad sometimes we do have to bump our head to realize, okay, I need to go this route instead of going this route. So hopefully this is all it took, and Ja will be back on the straight and narrow and leading his Memphis Grizzlies in the playoffs or however far they may go. A great team. I watched them play in person on 3 or 4 different occasions. Really, really good team. So hopefully he can lead those guys to however far they can go. And you guys chime in. Tell me what you think. Who you rocking with in the NCAA tournament? Are you feeling the NFL free agency? What are your thoughts on the Lakers? What are your thoughts on the Warriors that seem to can't get the job done on the road? And how do you feel about Ja Morant, Aaron Rodgers, and all of that type of stuff? Once again, this is your sports recap for the week and your boy FJ3000. I appreciate you guys for watching and rocking with me. Comment, subscribe, and like the video. It's your boy 3000, and I'm out. Peace.